Hello, everyone. Thank you for participating in this webinar. It gives me a great pleasure to be a speaker here today. I've worked in a variety of practices at Royal Cyber as a lead, with a major emphasis on BigCommerce specifically. My interest in learning about new and innovative technologies have been, stoked by my experience in e-commerce industry. And one such topic we will be delving shortly today is building composable, scalable e-commerce with BigCommerce and the shifting trends towards composable commerce. I'm also happy to present Paul Dabrowski, our keynote speaker from BigCommerce. Paul, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Pooja, for having me. So I'm Paul Dabrowski. I'm the Senior B2B Channel Manager here at BigCommerce. And I'm responsible for the success of our wholesalers, manufacturers, and distributors on our platform, particularly our BigCommerce B2B edition platform. So thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Excited to dive into this exciting topic of Composable today.
I believe before deep diving into our original topic, Paul, we should first understand how e-commerce is shifting its trends and shaping the B2B landscape. Paul, could you please help us understand the current e-commerce landscape, highlighting some of the key trends and customer demands within B2B?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to. In fact, I think we prepared just a couple of slides for walking you through all those B2B key trends.
I hope everyone
Thanks,
sees
Pooja.
my screen.
Thank you, Pooja. I
Okay.
can see it. Okay, so we prepared this slide for you today so we could walk you through some of those B2B key trends. And on the left-hand side, we've got a slide just prepared for you so you can see global online sales versus offline sales growth trends. And basically what you need to know is that B2B online sales are rapidly outpacing offline sales, and they're projected to grow at a 20% CAGR compared to offline, which is just a stagnant 2.5%. This really indicates a significant shift towards digital commerce. Moreover, the buyer preferences you can see on the right-hand side, they're evolving, and there's a maturity in the B2B buyer today. They prefer online platforms as a source of purchasing, highlighting a critical role in the digital platforms today in that B2B buyer journey. And so what they're doing in that B2B journey is that they're going online to purchase more today. They're going online to identify new suppliers. They're going online to reorder, and they're going on to evaluate new suppliers. And what we've also identified is that there's been just a tremendous growth in wholesale trade. So since 2020, wholesale trade's grown by over 38%. And that means that there's a expanding digital marketplace here. And the adoption of legacy technology systems remains a considerable barrier we've identified. For nearly half of B2B organizations in the United States, they still struggle with outdated technology stacks, and it limits their growth and really undermines their ROI today. The situation really underscores a urgent need for businesses to modernize their technology infrastructure to seize opportunities presented by the digital shift in B2B e-commerce. And composable commerce has actually been meeting that need, and it's been a growing factor in the success of many of our B2B companies that have gotten on platform with us.
Thank you, Paul. Let me stop sharing my screen and go back to the original topic now. I think thanks a lot again for sharing your insights around B2B landscape and its demands in the market. And I would also like to put some thoughts here. As you all know that the race between customer expectations and technological advancements is more than challenging ever, right? And there is always a gap between what customers actually expect and how the technology is growing faster. But nowadays customers are always looking for personalized experiences, instant gratification, and seamless interaction across channels. In early 2000s, right? Let me just quickly share my screen, to give you a more visually appealing experience on this. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just start sharing my screen again. Okay, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Uh, I think, as I said, right, in early 2000, customers were looking more towards digitally empowered sellers and marketing strategies and operating specific, to performance marketing and lead generation. And later on, as you can see, customers started to grow in B2B area, social media, account-based marketing, and sales alignment. And post COVID, customers have learned to shift the virtual events, sales, live shopping, and multi channels, AI, IoT, advanced analytics, and much more. So we are facing challenges now that lie in meeting and exceeding, customer expectations with the current technological capabilities. And businesses are also facing consequences by failing behind in meeting customer expectations. In order to overcome these gaps, businesses need to introduce strategies to bridge the divide between customer expectations and technological capabilities by continuous innovation, agile development process, and strategic partnerships and collaborations. I think the dynamic realm of B2B interactions has been on in numerous shifts and trends over time and shaping the e-commerce landscape here. There are major shifts and trends that have left an incredible mark in the B2B ecosystem. I think first and foremost, the introduction of digital transformation that has definitely changed B2B transactions that are getting carried out. Then online marketplaces, e-commerce platforms have become important players, offering increased accessibility and convenience to both buyers and sellers. And in addition, they're also seeing a rise in desire of customer experiences. Uh, to build the last longing relationships and recurring revenue systems, many B2B businesses are switching from traditional sales to subscription based or as a service models. And then B2B businesses are also navigating intricate supply chains, placing a high priority or resilience in face of disruptions as a result of growing globalization. And finally, the most important is data privacy and data security. That is the top priority, demanding strong safeguards in the private data. As we look ahead, the B2B landscape will continue to evolve, drive by innovation and globalization and changing market dynamics. I think I'll just move to the next question. Now that we have understood B2B landscape thoroughly, Paul, could you please help us understand, the factors that are influencing the growth and transformation within B2B commerce?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've prepared kind of a slide here too that we can walk everyone through kind of the history of that transformation.
Let me share the screen for you, Paul. Just give me a minute. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Pooja. So I'm going to help just walk you through kind of a visual here of what's influenced the growth and transformation in terms of B2B commerce. So, a long, long time ago, essentially, there was an era pre-cloud, pre-mobile, monolithic systems. It's kind of hard to think about now because you walk around with a cell phone at your hip all the time, right? Probably don't leave anywhere without it. And so essentially, we've really moved out of that decade. We've seen, a decade of emerging tech where we had emerging cloud, mobile, APIs, AI, machine learning. And that's been transformational, actually. But now we're in this new era for businesses, which is a commerce era. We live in this digital world. We're all online. In fact, I mean, in the US, that's, kind of staggering, actually. The internet, internet subscribers has hit over 300 plus million, in the US. And so you just have this widespread use of digital devices, and that's made it really easy for B2B purchasing because it's just more accessible and convenient than traditional methods. But businesses have really been challenged there to step up, and they've been slow to react in reality. But now you really see them trying to catch up. And so the North American B2B commerce sector is on the brink of just what we can see as revolutionary transformation, because it's projected to grow from 1.8 billion right now, so almost 2 trillion in B2B online sales to almost 10 trillion by 2030. And that's a lot of opportunity, but it also brings some complexity. And that's really brought on by technological innovation. I mean, it's been the backbone of the North American B2B e-commerce market's growth. Businesses really are increasingly adopting digital solutions, and they're doing it for, better inventory management, customer engagement, streamlined operations, right? They want to drive cloud. It's really driven by cloud computing, AI, big data analytics, and cybersecurity enhancements. So, those are just several factors that we see that have influenced the growth and transformation. Technological advancement, shift in consumer behaviors, and the increased internet and smartphone penetration. But you do have other factors at play. Cross-border sales have really become, significant. If we talk about cross-border sales within the EU, makes up 70% of all B2B e-commerce online sales today over there. 70%, that's high. And in the US, we have some regulatory, laws that are getting put in place that are going to help that as well. So you have, market conditions within certain regions that are just going to really help expand and make it easier for companies to manufacture and sell their products digitally today. And so I'd say that really what you're seeing is B2B e-commerce is being, driven by these advancements in technology, that changing customer behavior as we talked through, and overall digitalization of business processes. And so the businesses that embrace these changes, we can see leverage technology effectively and can execute today. They're well positioned to thrive in the evolving B2B e-commerce landscape. And the composable commerce offers that flexibility, speed, integration, and the capabilities that are essential for today's fast-paced market. Quite exciting.
That was really informative, Paul. Thank you so much. I think this would undoubtedly give our audience some insights on how B2B industry is currently developing, right? And I think in addition to what you have just mentioned, for me, the factors that are influencing more on B2B industry are, shifting towards digital transformation by B2B companies, when they adopt online payments, e-commerce solutions, digital marketplace, and much more for reaching the wider customer base. And I think these companies are also transforming themselves by technological advancements like, adopting AI, ML, blockchain, IoT, and much more. And, for the matter of fact, they're also tracking customer behavior, customer expectations, and acting accordingly. And, surely do not want to miss out the important point that they are also tracking the supply chain disruption events like natural disaster, geopolitical tensions, trade disputes, and pandemic like COVID-19, we all know, right? Which definitely is shifting the curve within B2B commerce. Right now, let me just quickly share my screen again. I would like to present, one more slide for you guys. Just give me a minute. Okay, I hope everyone sees my screen. I suppose I should first discuss how B2B composable commerce got its start in the market before diving deeper into this topic. In initial days, B2B companies first relied on traditional e-commerce platforms from provided one-size-fits-all solution, right? Which also we call it as monolith solutions, where these platforms were giving all the features packed in one solution. For example, storefront, catalog management, order management, customer management, etc. in one solution only. But these were less usable and hard to maintain as well, and of course not so cost effective as well, right? And which also led to a slow development process effectively because of the dependency on each other. And then came into picture API driven architecture that allowed businesses to integrate with different systems, that also helped them tailor their solution based on their requirements, which was surely a flexible approach for them. APIs also help them exchange data between different systems easily. And then the path to composable commerce was introduced, which put these approaches backward by offering modular approach, allowing businesses to assemble best breed components and services based on their business requirements. I think some of the major advantages that composable commerce provides are like scalability, flexibility, agility, about which I would like to talk more detail in some minutes. But I think the major milestones to touch base are like adopting customization and personalization, right? And that are helping B2B businesses deliver highly customized and personal experiences to their customers. Then comes the integration of microservice architecture and embracing first, API first approach. Composable commerce definitely follows microservice architecture. We all know that. And API first approach that definitely, helps them smoothen the operations within different composable components. I think you have pretty much understood, how the journey works when we started from monolith to composable commerce. Paul, I think what is your thought process when it comes to composable commerce? Could you please help us understand why companies are adopting composable strategies in their B2B operations? And we would also like to know different market forces and technological advancements that are contributing to the rise of composable B2B commerce.
Great. Yeah, excellent question. We typically see that there's three drivers generally for companies adopting a composable commerce architecture today. Either the business has a need for speed to react to the market, they need greater channel and GTM flexibility, or they need essentially a better and more integrated omni-channel business process. So, if you're looking to adopt a composable architecture, and I get the question a lot, where do I start? A really great place to start, or, is with a resource, and one like MACH Alliance is an amazing first place to start because they've established, certification standards that help identify vendors and, integrators that embrace MACH philosophies, and they offer MACH certified services. It's just a really great, place to start, I would say. So just double clicking in, I guess, to the question as well, businesses that have this need for speed, right, to react to the market, that's pretty pivotal, actually. As you heard us earlier talk about legacy tech systems, the monolithic tech stack really just delivered like one singular kind of customer experience. And with composable e-commerce, that's really powerful. So the driving force is agility and the ability to quickly respond to changes in the market. So companies that prioritize need for flexibility and a responsive infrastructure, they can adapt to the new trends, customer demands, and the competitive say competitor pressures without significant delays by adopting composable. Then, that need for greater channel and go-to-market flexibility, that's a driver that just emphasizes like the importance of being able to easily adjust and expand how a company goes to market and sells its products or services. Well, we see it that this includes being able to leverage multiple channels effectively, whether digital or physical. So we have many companies that have retail operations in the business sector, but they also need to be able to have the same customer experience that they get in a store, online, that really great experience. And we have some really great examples of that, where they've been able to adapt to those go-to-market strategies as needed without being constrained by technology. And then that need for better and more integrated omni-channel business processes, right? Like going omni-channel. This is a driver that focuses on integration and seamless operation of business processes across various channels, and that provides a unified customer experience. Companies with this need, they really do aim to break down silos that exist between channels, and they ensure that customers receive consistent service and interaction, whether online, in store, or through any other touch point. Market forces, are like customer expectations today for personalized experiences in their buyer journey. And the technological advances, are also a part of market forces, so it's including the APIs, the microservices, the cloud systems themselves, And that's driving the shift towards composable commerce because it allows those companies to meet those demands without any kind of disruptions today.
I absolutely agree with you, Paul. And I think the major factors include, like, API complexity, complex B2B ecosystems, rapidly changing technologies, customers' constant requests for personalization and customization, and most importantly, right, staying ahead and current in the competitors, right? I think let's understand some of the challenges as well as advantages of adopting composable approach in B2B commerce. I think the term composable commerce refers to the method of creating adaptable modular systems with easily reconfigurable and interoperable components to meet changing business needs. This method has many advantages, including customization, scalability, and agility. But I think I would like to touch base some of the challenges as well here. I think the very first one is integration complexity. In B2B, managing complex integrations, applications, and services is quite tedious, right? And it can be difficult to ensure whether the data is flowing properly within the systems or not. Secondly, composable commerce systems components are interoperable and they should be able to work together very smoothly without any conflicts. And the most important factor is vendor dependency. Businesses are always dependent on a vendor for one or the other integration, and definitely with high cost and reduced agility. And I think let's not forget about the important factors like security, compliance, performance, and scalability. This architecture requires additional security and compliance as data needs to be traveled within these different systems, right? Even though this architecture helps businesses scale individual components, managing the systems together can definitely a burden too. Uh, but last but not the least, I think we surely need some specialized technical expertise within this to, set up the cost factor when it comes to picture. Uh, Cost is there, right? I think in addition to challenges with, integrating composable commerce, I think there are a lot of advantages too, right? And I would like to discuss these advantages in more detail. But first, Paul, could you please share your opinion on composable commerce approach, and do you believe it works well together when it comes to B2B?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, composable commerce brings agility and innovation to the forefront of B2B e-commerce. But the real challenge is it kind of lies in a company's ability to embrace a culture of continuous improvement and learning. So typically we see that it's not really the tech that's challenging the companies today. It's technology's advanced so much that you don't go to school for e-commerce. So, upscaling your workforce actually becomes more of the challenges to overcome typically. But actually, the barrier for entry has really been lowered with some of the newer technologies coming about. And we have some really exciting, um, offerings that are in the works right now. So like our Catalyst, our Make Swift editors really do help development cost and also the time to be reduced. So yeah, I'd say if embrace a continuous improvement and learning for your company. That's again, it's just not about the tech. It's really about how you use it and stay competitive.
I think, this brings a lot to table and definitely dispels the myth, right, related to complexities of composable stack. And I think B2B businesses should surely think about the benefits that composable systems can provide to their businesses. Because, the composable system combines independent, interchangeable components that can definitely added, swapped, or, dropped at any point of time. And these components work well together and they communicate via API first approach, but essentially independent of each other. So you can easily plug and play kind of functionality and according to your business needs. And this is fully flexible approach that allows you to maximize the benefits of a build and buy wherever, you can buy commoditized functions like cart, source discovery, and much more, and build what's unique to your business. Plus, you get to choose the best of breed products, suits to your requirements based on your budget, and you don't need to be locked in into a vendor's capability. And worth mentioning that truly composable system is not bound to any walled garden or proprietary technology. That's my kind of layman term. It offers complete freedom to select code, integrate, and run applications without requiring to learn new framework or getting certification. And in a nutshell, you can actually use and upskill your existing talent pool, right, to extend your tech stack. Uh, Summarizing, composable tech stack, tackle adaptability. It's a head-on for that. With a modular and interchangeable approach, this approach enables you to select, integrate, and manage the collection of tools and features that best work for your business. I think we talked a lot about challenges and advantages of composable B2B commerce. Uh, Paul, from your experience, right, can you help us understand how the challenges can be converted into opportunities by adopting B2B composable strategies? And if you could just help us understand what all industries can adopt composable B2B strategies as well.
In my experience, yeah, the transformation from traditional, to composable B2B strategies is often seen as a challenge due to initial perceptions, right, about complexity, cost, and the skill sets required. However, these challenges present significant opportunities for businesses willing to adapt. For instance, the complexity of integrating various systems can actually drive an organization towards a more streamlined, efficient operation, and it encourages a reevaluation of legacy systems and processes. It leads to a modernization that can significantly reduce operational costs in the long run.
I would also like to chime in here since we are talking about composable B2B commerce opportunities within different industries, right? I really don't think there is a limitation within composable commerce that can stop any industry from adopting it. The beauty of composable commerce that it's not restricted to any single brand or technology. It's like having a freedom to choose, or use the Lego bricks from any set and not just one. You can choose mix and match tools, features that suit best to your business without being tied to a specific vendor, right? I think picture your business needs with different creations you want to build with composable commerce. You can simply pick and choose specific functionalities ready made like cart, PIM systems, payments, CMS systems, just like selecting Lego pieces from a set. And if I want to be more specific here to talk about the industries, the perfect fit industries for adopting composable commerce are like retail and e-commerce, healthcare, manufacturing, financial services, logistics, aviation, telecommunication, and whatnot. I know I'm mentioning almost all industries here because composable commerce is versatile and it can almost fit to any of the industry. I think let's talk about some business terms here, Paul. Do you think composable B2B models can enhance agility, scalability, and overall business efficiency?
Yes, I mean, composable business models significantly enhance the agility and the scalability, allowing businesses to respond quickly to those market changes and scale operations, efficiently. And it really does improve the overall, business efficiency in a day. I mean, the best example is that, you know, if you've got a CMS system and it's not functional for you any longer, you could just take it out and replace it with one that is. And then this doesn't affect your front end. So all of your components as well, being separated into these microservices allow you to, like Pooja said, it's like a digital Lego block that allows you to just kind of play in the B2B buyer sandbox, but it's powerful in the sense that it allows for companies to, go into changing those processes in a systematic way without disrupting the entire business operations or the customer experience. So if you're currently, selling online today, but you're not selling like in a personalized way, or you don't have your your marketing that's personalized and segmented based on cohort, and you're, driving, different buyer prices based on different profiles, but you want to do that, well, you could actually then just focus in on those areas and deploy those solutions without re-platforming the entire system. And that's the power of Composable. And also future proofs you. Like if something gets better, in that tech stack, whether it's on the front end or the back end, then you're able to deal with that situation. So that's where it really becomes powerful, that agility, speed, your ability to adapt.
I think that was a head-on, Paul. Now that we've seen how composable B2B commerce definitely plays a significant role into businesses, right? We need to understand how customer behavior influences B2B models that are more flexible and adaptable. Can you provide your thoughts here, Paul?
Okay, great. Another great question, Pooja. So, yeah, I can provide those thoughts here. So, customer expectations for personalized and convenient online experience are really driving the shift towards more flexible and adaptable B2B models. I mean, um, composable commerce here, I have to emphasize this, that you've got a growing customer demand, from a B2B buyer perspective. And now you need to be able to customize, and have those seamless integrations, and directly respond to those demands. That's you as a business right now, enabling businesses to offer that more dynamic and engaging customer journey is what Composable Commerce is promising to do, and meets those buyer expectations, head on. So yeah, absolutely. I think customer expectations, are driving the need for businesses to adopt Composable. And then there's even growing need actually to continue on that kind of continuous improvement, as we talked about earlier, as an organization. And Composable, again, plays a really pivotal role in that ability for you to execute and stay, what we call future proof.
I think you explained it very well, Paul. I think customer expectations and how they behave towards B2B models is very crucial when it comes to digital experiences.
Yeah, so then I guess as an integration and solutions partner, do you believe that the Composable B2B framework, right, has the potential to improve customer relationships and satisfaction?
I would really love to respond to this question from both businesses as well as from the customer's perspective. As Royal Cyber has been in this field for, more than 2 decades, and we're always ready to help client in all possible ways. When it comes to composable commerce, as we do hear this kind of question from many of our clients and retailers, I believe composable B2B framework surely has the potential to improve customer relationship and satisfaction, because retailers are thinking other way around nowadays. They want to freedom, they want this kind of freedom to experiment and iterate and quickly roll out the best commerce experience to their customer needs. Uh, they want agility and ability to innovate so that they can truly, create a unique and differentiated shopping experience. They believe in smaller deployments because they think it will, reduce their risk rather than having to redeploy the entire application again. Then they also think that increased scalability and flexibility is important, because you can reallocate human and technical resources wherever you need, right? Not just to the whole platform. Then I think adapting quickly to the market changes is another key trend within these businesses. And most important is speed to market, right? When it comes to more flexibility, and that will definitely reduce cost and risk. And innovation is the close second, which naturally comes with increased speed to market. And finally, the reward. There has been always, a benefit from everything that retailer does, financially as well as customer satisfaction. I think these are all from the business perspective. But when it comes to customers, right, they also are majorly thinking about customization and personalization. Right, composable commerce architecture is tailor made, and customers can have their purchase journey in more personalized and customized way. And secondly, we all know that how flexible and agile it is. So this can surely increase customer satisfaction and overall dynamic experience. And we know that, right? Composable B2B framework is scalable enough to deliver a high quality experience to customers. So where customers can benefit a seamless and consistent operations throughout their purchase journey. I believe that a composable B2B framework is helpful from both business as well as from customer perspective. Paul, I think you would conquer this, right? That's correct, right? What I've just said.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, think about it this way. Composable commerce is all about creating those rich, tailored experiences customers love. And happy, loyal customers drives growth. It's a powerful way essentially to deepen relationships and boost satisfaction by ensuring like you're offering, that dynamic and responsive customer experience that the buyers just come to expect today. Composable, when you talk about it in B2B frameworks, right, it offers that potential to just significantly improve the customer relationships and the satisfaction. So, that really allows businesses today to tailor their operations and customer interactions more closely than ever before to the individual needs and preferences of their B2B buyers.
That was a great one, Paul. I think as you're already working in B2B industries with composable architecture, right? Could you please help us with some of the best practices and strategies for implementing composable B2B approaches in different business contexts?
Yeah, I think best practices for implementing composable B2B approaches today includes just starting with a clear strategy. Also then aligning that strategy to your customer specific needs, your business outcomes that you want to drive, and then aligning that to aligning the technology to that digital strategy, but then having the ability, like we discussed earlier, in that change management side, being able to execute on those strategies. So it's a trifecta. And then on the tech side, yeah, I would say start with composable commerce from, APIs. That's really the way to go. Allows for just like a smooth transition from older systems, right? Smooth transition in where you're kind of like, shaking up maybe the customer experience, but you don't want to disrupt the customer experience, right? But you're doing that in a really good way. So adopting a modular approach for flexibility and scalability is key, and you can do that. You can start by identifying through that strategy, what those business customer needs are going to be and those outcomes that you want to drive, and you can then take certain parts of the tech stack and work on them. And it doesn't have to be a rip out total replatform approach. Actually, I wouldn't recommend that typically for companies unless you're prepared for that. In that sense, then if you are, then it would just be a replatforming entirely, and then it would be an integration of all those systems. So, and some companies actually do approach it that way, but I wouldn't say that that's the norm. When setting the conversation on that being a best practice per se.
I think I would also like to give some thoughts here. Right, integration partners are kind of crucial when it comes to implementing these kind of functionalities within your business. And the partner ecosystem definitely adds another element to this. It's not just a composable vendor ecosystem, but the implementation partner ecosystem that's vibrant as well. And at Royal Sabre, we have built different accelerators for broad composable use cases. For example, with BigCommerce, we specifically have a platform accelerator to launch the commerce site, to the market quickly. Then we have lots of different connectors with BigCommerce. We do have headless implementation. Then we do have some of the extensions, marketplace extensions like ChatGPT extension, seller side marketplace accelerator, operator side marketplace accelerator. Then we have these advanced retailing capabilities that you can easily plug in. Like we do have a 3D visualizer, tools. Then we do have personalized and visual search. Then when it comes to product recommendations, we do have extensions around product recommendations and express checkout and much more. And we are also innovating a lot still from BigCommerce perspectives. Wonderful. I think, Paul, we have already emphasized around, how the composable commerce works and how it can be beneficial to businesses who are planning to move into this direction. Now, I wouldn't be a retailer at heart if I didn't propose this. We would be delighted to prove this to any of the retailers who are interested. So the offer is open to engage with you, assessing whether composable commerce is a right solution for your business, and we can help your business up and running using a supercharge composable commerce implementation. This could be an initial discussion with you, and if anyone is open to it, we typically run a first discovery session. Then subsequently run a workshop where we propose options to the retailers for consideration. I think, as we bring this webinar to close, I would like to thank you for being the part of this insightful webinar on B2B composable commerce. Your active participation and engagement, definitely have contributed to the success of this webinar. Paul, I think we have already received some of the questions from audience. Are you excited to answer those?
Yeah, let's bring it on.
Okay, so the very first question is, how is the normal B2B buyer journey different from the composable B2B commerce in BigCommerce? Would you like to answer that?
Yeah, for sure. B2B buyer journey, I mean, the table stakes are much higher for B2B buyers because at the end of the day, if they purchase the wrong thing, they can lose their jobs, compared to if, I purchased the wrong toilet paper in my household, I might just have to explain that and do a simple return, essentially. My wife might not be happy with me, but that's just how it goes sometimes. But for B2B buyer journey, I mean, it's kind of interesting if you don't know it, but B2B like on-site search is the number one feature that's used on any B2B e-commerce site today. And so we see that B2B buyers are very quick to use the search. 40% of all B2B buyers go immediately to search today. And it's kind of like an underutilized part of a B2B e-commerce site we see in most projects. And 40% of those B2B buyers that actually immediately use that search, they're 2 to 3 times likely more to convert with a business, we see as well. And so that's really important for you to kind of use the data insights, to your advantage. And you can do that actually easily, and you can automate that actually today to overcome and address, those buyer demands. But actually, on the search side, it's getting very interesting because AI is starting to play a role there. So going beyond the simple keyword search is necessary today. Like we have image search capabilities so that you could just take a picture of a part and identify it and return that in search. We have concept search that's now being utilized, so you can actually write out a concept. Show me all gray parts or all blue parts, or then you're able to use different languages, support 50 different languages in search. So Chinese, whatever, and then you can return the results, in that language. So that's being able to take advantage of some of these technology advancements really quickly is your ability to either take a search result like that or return no results and then have a customer bounce, right? So we understand that, and we're invested in those areas. So the buyer journeys are different in that sense too, that they want to be able to find the exact product that they need. And so product data accuracy is so key. And in most cases, businesses really do grapple with that challenge of product data accuracy, and they're looking to overcome it. And they're looking to overcome it too, make manufacturers trying to get their product data information in sync with all their distributors is a really big challenge to overcome. So we help in those areas too, so that they have a consistent, enriched product across all platforms today. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of complexities, around the B2B buyer that need to be met. They don't just buy with credit cards. In fact, they expect net terms. They expect flexible net terms. So being able to offer those payment options is really critical to actually drive a conversion. And then businesses, need to be able to quote and, do that easily. So we offer that kind of full native B2B functionality within our B2B edition to support all of those unique business cases. And there are many of them. I didn't cover the majority, but those are kind of some of the top ones to let you know, yeah, there are differences. Table stakes are higher. And but we're here to help through that and get you guys going.
Okay, I think we do have few more questions. The next one is what skill set and resources should a company have on staff or outsource to be able to benefit from composable approach when it comes to B2B e-commerce? Okay, I think I can answer this. See, when it comes to composable commerce, you need to have resources with technical knowledge, with architecture, as Paul just mentioned. Then e-commerce industry domain because you're dealing with it. Some data management expertise because composable commerce definitely encourages security and compliance. But of course, project management expertise because you have to have the entire project, expertise and how it's getting managed. Next is vendor management, and not the least, integration or solution partners like Royal Cyber, right? Who can offer the entire tech stack, with their expertise and within the composable commerce, so they can help you implement the end-to-end journey from starting in the composable commerce journey. Okay, we do have a next question. I think this is for us, Paul. How Royal Cyber can help with BigCommerce B2B composable commerce framework? Okay, I'll answer this. That's a good question. Royal Saber is having in-house BigCommerce practice with certified resources and with the expertise within B2B industry, as well as in composable commerce area. And as I mentioned before, we will conduct a proper discovery session with you, to understand your requirements. And based on your requirements and the discussion within the discovery session, we will definitely help you with the best fit solution accordingly to your business. I hope this answers your question. And we're happy to have, a conversation to be started if you are interested. I think we will be sending some of the survey questions as well to you, and you can, reach out to us anytime. I think we are good. Let me see if there are any other questions.